Yay, we are live. Hi, Anne and Jamie and Joyce. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. I was just wrapping up some things on Facebook and helping a couple of people, and they're coming to join the live tonight. So, I'm going to play the intro and we'll get started on this. Yay! And there is the October calendar, guys. I made a couple of adjustments to that. Hi, Louise. Hi, Marianne. Made a couple of adjustments for everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our Canadian viewers and members. Thank you to all of my supporters on Patreon, Ko-fi, and of course our YouTube memberships. And thanks to all of my moderators. You guys are the best of the best, and I thank you. Hi, Susan. Hi, Pam. Hi, Gerald. So let's pop over to the overhead. I was trying to, I'm sorry. Yep. There we go. I was trying to come up with a topic because tonight's project is super quick. And somebody messaged me. Linda messaged me. Hi, Ladybug. Linda messaged me and wanted to know about how you would even create a box. So I thought, well, since I'm making a box and it's super quick, why don't we kind of cover how you can come up with your designs. Now, what I'm going to show you in designs is just the basics. We're not actually going to build the box and test cut it and everything because a lot goes into doing that, especially when they have the fancy little tops and stuff like this, okay? But I am going to go over the details of how to basically make a box. These I did foil with the Cricut foils, and I failed to mention when we did the tool review that when I did my foils and I tested those other foils, guys, like for the foil quill and all that worked, I used bold. I also used 100-pound cardstock no matter what I was doing it on, and I used more pressure. So that will have a bearing. Now for this design, for the card and the box, I set the quilling on medium, the foil, I set it on medium, but I used my bold tip, just so you know that. So if you duplicate this and yours is not looking like mine, I have it set in the file for the medium tip, but I used the bold. I also use Cricut cardstock, which is 80-pound, but I selected 100-pound weight. And that's just me. I wanted to make sure because it was textured that I was going to get a good foil, and I did. It's beautiful. Doesn't rub off. Kind of feels embossed. Very nice. Hi, there's Linda. Yes, you get a shout out. So super easy and quick. This box is going to be awesome, especially since we have COVID going on. You can put some candies and stuff in here and put a little tag on it that says to and from, anything like that. I mean, I foiled it all the way around and it's set up so that the top gets foiled and looks continuous. Okay, and when it's folded over, it folds right on that line. So it kind of looks like it's reflecting, even though it's not reflecting. So I thought that came out super cool. Hi, Shirley. But you can put some candies and stuff on here, and it will slip right over a doorknob. So you can hang it right on the, I mean, it was not going to go on the fat part. It's going to go on the skinny part and hang behind the knob there. But it does fit perfectly. And then, you know, you don't have to do anything. And when we get over to the file, you're going to see the purpose for having the card in the file. You can foil everything at once, and then you can cut it. Okay? So you only have to do all the taping of your foil down one time only. And then I just had it right inside. Now, if you want to do foil inside, you can do that, but then you're going to have to foil it because it's a different color and it's cut separately. Hi, Dolores. Thank you, Jamie. I love this little box. And this will hold several of the little Nuggets candies or Ghirardellis. Probably hold a couple of Ferrero Rochers. So let's go over and take a look at the file. Okay, here is your file, and it is set up. Now, of course, if you want to change it, oops, I didn't attach that. Let me go back and attach that. Oh, I was playing in there. I used the file, that's why. Let me select him. If you got this file, you may have to go in and select it all and attach if you want those foil lines to be right where they're supposed to be. Let me bring that right back up because it shifted. I was playing around in there. I should have saved it and I didn't. Let's align that bottom. There we go. And select it all. Something that's not right here. My bells are gone. It asked me, this is weird. Has anybody noticed? Hi, Linda. It asked me if I wanted to save the cloud version and the other version, and I said yes. And I guess that was the wrong thing to do because all of my foiling is gone. It's all gone. It overwrote my file. Okay. I'm just going to start over. And breathe. So you guys get to see me how I make sure that everything aligns right. So I'm going to select both of those. I'm going to align. I am going to place those aligned at the bottom. That needs to be shifted just slightly so that it touches. I'm going to go in and go to images, and I'm going to grab the bells so that you guys have those. There they are right there. Yeah, thank you, Jamie, because that's what happened when I opened this file. And that's the wrong one. Yeah, I just got updated to the 514, and now that's happening. There's the one I used for the card. There are the bells. Good, so they're right there. At least you guys can see if you do this. So I've selected both my images, and then I just did the bells, and hopefully I can get these exactly like I did in my file. I did rotate them. And then I just sized them. I did not unlock it because if you unlock it, it's going to skew, and that looks about right. Then I'm going to come up here and go to Draw. I'm going to go to Foil. I'm going to place it on Medium. I'm going to duplicate that, and then I did flip it horizontally. And then I'm going to bring it in right here. Trying to get it the same. So I'm going to shift, and I'm going to align bottom, because I want them to be aligned properly. Oh, this is not good. let's see. And then I'm going to get I'm going to align bottom. Okay, that looks like everything is aligned. So now I'm going to shrink this so I can see it on my screen. You guys can probably see it, but let's see. I'm going to select all of that, and I am going to attach. So now that it's ready, and it's ready to foil, okay? On the card, now I did rotate this because I've got my card going in one direction, and that's so that it will cut in that direction. I saved it that way to make sure it would cut in that direction, so you could use one sheet of paper for all of your white and all of your foiling. So if you're going to foil, you can put any sentiment you want. If you want to foil your sentiment, you need to go ahead and put it in there, but you need to rotate it 90 degrees so that it is reading the right direction. And I'm just going to duplicate this Merry Christmas just to show you what I mean, but you can put any sentiment. And I'm going to rotate it 270 degrees. Because that's the direction it needs to face if you're going to foil it, okay? And then you're just going to align it and center it vertically. There you go. And then you can attach that as well. So I'm just going to leave it attached. You can change that out to whatever you want. I'm going to send that to the back. And then this is just a piece of red. See, it didn't do, yeah, I changed that up. Let's make that red gold because I made that a gold layer. And then I made this the red layer. Boom. So if you've got a white box or red box, you'll go in and change it. Either way, you're going to foil two pieces. You're either going to foil, if you make your box red, you're going to foil that and this card top. You'll change that to red, of course. And then this, you'll foil together. And if you leave that white, you'll foil these two pieces together. But this piece I'm going to rotate also 90 degrees. And then I stretched it to fit onto the card. That's a little large. And that's still a little large. Go into, there we go. And then I'm going to select the red. We're going to align center. I'm going to go in and I am going to change that to foil medium. And again, I did this on with my bold tip, but I set it on medium. And then I'm going to attach that to the red. So now that is hopefully going to save. There we go. And work properly for you guys. So there's the file. Yeah. No, it won't make it go the wrong direction, Anne, because this is a not a book fold. Let me show you on the overhead, and then we'll come back and we'll cover how to do a box. The card is set up to go this way, in this direction, so that when you open it, you see the writing. On your screen, the card is laid out like this, and then your panels, of course, like this. Okay? So this is the way it's laid out on the screen right now. But when you cut it, you're going to take it off the mat. And you're going to fold it in this direction, and then you're going to place your panel on the top with this and going in the right direction. Okay? It can get confusing, and I've done it 1,000 times, and I'm like, why did I turn that way? That is the wrong way. And then when I did it, I was like, no, I did it right. So it's easy to do. To get the files for today, Dolores, you have to be a Ko-fi or a monthly supporter or a Patreon monthly or annual supporter. If you do annually on Patreon, you get 10% off. I think it comes out to $54 for the year, and you get access to all my files, my SVGs, all of that kind of stuff. And there are hundreds. I am still working on fixing links that the update broke. But all of my files, and come October 1st, if you're a Ko-fi supporter, if you're doing one-time support every now and again, please be aware come November 1st, and I posted this on October the 1st to give you guys a 30 days head up, you must be monthly on Ko-fi. One-time supporters will not be getting files after October 31st, okay? I may release some this month. I didn't have anybody that was a one-time supporter last month, so I decided to do away with that since it was a ton of work for me and not many people were on that. But if you are monthly on Ko-fi, you get the same thing that the Patreons get, but you do not get that 10% discount by going annually. Ko-fi has not done that yet. So if you're a Patreon, you go to craftingwithapril.co and go to the supporter files, and it is in there. Okay? And you should have the password if you're a current Patreon or Ko-fi supporter. You should have, okay, look in your messages, Dolores, on Patreon, and there's a message from me from October the 1st, and it has your password in it. And then you can access it. Let me just show you guys real quick how to get to the files. Let me get a new window here. You come over to Crafting with April. If you click on supporter files, you see this black box. That's where the password that you have goes. It is not your login that you use to log into the site with. You don't have to log in. If you want to, you can. But if you're going to log in here, this is your login and your password. It is not your black box password. The black box password is what I send to you. That's the one I create for you. So that's the one where you need to put your black box password in, and then it will allow you to see the files. And I will just do that really quick. Let's see. So once you have your password in there, you hit login, and I do not save that password because that will overwrite your login password, and you don't want it to do that. But right here is the treat box, and you click on it, and it's going to open up or bring you to this screen. You're going to click open. If you have this, I'm on a Mac, so you may not see that. Say open, and it's going to open up your file. Just like so. Okay. And then you can customize it. You can take the foil off. Now you guys, those of you who don't have the foil tool, okay, you can change this to draw and use your glitter pens and get a similar look. Oops. Dang it, it did not go. I'll show you guys again. There we go. Let me do it one more time. I have to they just did an update on OBS, and every time they do that, it does something, and I have to go in and fix it. Right here, let me log out. So when you come to supporter files, it's probably not going to show the black box again because I'm already logged in. But a black box pops up when you click on that. That's the password you want to put in. And once you're in there, you can just go to the files and you'll see that here. You can click on open it, and you'll see this window. You're going to open, allow if it asks you that. And then Design Space pops up and it opens. Okay. Oh, you're not holding up the class? We're here to answer questions. This is Chat Around the Mat. We take our time. We make sure everybody understands. We don't leave anybody behind. Okay. Hi, Pat. So, that's basically it. And if anybody gets in here and you can't find something or you don't know how to get in here, If you're a Patreon or Ko-fi supporter, message me and I will help you, okay? But I am working on all the files. So far, I have that tab done, that tab done. I am in the middle of this tab. I'm just going to show you guys, especially you supporters, if it's going to change here. There it goes. If you see these in blue, they've been fixed. I'm still working on them. All of those have been fixed. If you get down here and you're looking for a file and you find it and it has this black box on it, I think I just forgot to change that one. That one's fixed. I'll go and fix that. But if you see a black button like these, I am in the process. These are not fixed yet, okay? So if you try to open one of those, it's going to come over here to open. You're going to say allow, and then you're going to get that private message thing. Maybe not. Oh, it's going to open for me because it's my file. But you're going to get one that says it won't open. And if you get that, give me time to fix it. When the project is set to foil, you cannot open it on iPad because the foil tool is not on mobile devices yet. So that is why. You have to open it up on a computer or a laptop and then you can do that. And Shirley, if all you have is an iPad and you are a Patreon or Ko-fi supporter and that's all you have, message me and I will set one up for your mobile and put it in there so that you can click on it and open it. If you'll shoot me a message, I will do that. I will go in all of my foil projects. I will set one for mobile users until they get that for you guys. If somebody will remind me. Okay? Because I do that for patterns. Anything that has a pattern upload in it for print and cut, I do put a mobile users one in there, and I just didn't think to do it for the foil. So I will go back as soon as I get time and do that for you guys. And since you mentioned that it's out of stock, Susan, guess what I got today? I got the foil tool. So that means I have two. Okay, Shirley, I'll fix it for you, okay? Don't worry. So as soon as I get time, I'm trying to set it up tonight and it will start tomorrow. You must be a Patreon supporter or a Ko-fi monthly supporter or a YouTube monthly supporter. But I am going to do a giveaway for this one and the foil. So you're going to get the foil that comes in there, which is the silver and the gold. And you're going to get the jewel sampler as well. Okay? So we are going to do a giveaway for all of my supporters on this. And if you are a moderator and you don't have one, you are eligible to get in there too because my moderators guys are not paid, so they're eligible for all giveaways. All right, that being said, let's go and design a box. And then we'll put this one together. I'm talking this one is super, super, super quick. We'll put it together in less than 2 minutes. So let me get over there. There it goes. I have to click it like 4 times to get it to go since that update. You just have to be a supporter, Susan. That's it. Hi, Vicki. So let's go into a new. And I'm just going to give you guys the basics. So let's say I've got a little hand sanitizer on my desk and you guys can't see it because I changed. let's just say that we wanted a box for this little guy, okay? And I'm going to be measuring it. You're not going to be able to see me because you're going to be watching on screen. So we're going to pretend we're making a box for this little hand sanitizer. So where do you start when you want to make a box, guys? The first thing you need are your measurements. You need to know how tall it is, and this guy is just over 2.5, so it's going to be 5/8, okay? 2 5/8. And in case any of you don't know, 1/8 is 0.125. So 5/8 is going to be 0.625. So the first thing I do is I'm going to get a square for my box, and I know that its height is 2 5/8 on my project, on my item. But I want to give it a little bit of room, and also if I'm going to put like in the ornament box, or if you put a stabilizer in the box, you need to account for that. If you're not putting a stabilizer in it, don't worry. But you need to add a little bit of height on there. So I'm going to say that I would make my height on this, instead of, because the product is 2.675, I need to make it 0.275, just to give it a little bit of room. So I'm going to set my height at 2.75, okay? That's how tall it is. Now my width on there is right at 1.75, okay? But I need to give it a little space too, or you're not going to be able to get your fingers in there and get it in and out of the box. So I'm going to say that I'm going to set it at 2 inches. So that is going to cover the size of my hand sanitizer. Okay, so let's pretend that that is the front of the box. I'm going to need a back to that box. So I'm going to duplicate it. Okay, so now I have a front and a back. And yes, my methods of making a box may be a little bit strange for some people, but this is how I do it. Instead of doing one big square and trying to figure out where the score lines go, this is how I start it. Okay, so you're not worried about connecting anything right now. We're not connecting it. We're just getting a guesstimated size so that it fits that object. So now when I turn it on its side, I need to figure out how wide it is at its widest point, which is the base on this, because the top is a little bit narrower. So I'm going to say that it's 5/8. Nah, actually it's going to be 7/8. So I'm going to make it 1 inch, because I want that little bit of play, but I don't want so much play that it just flops over sideways in the box, right? So I'm going to say that it's going to be 1 inch. So I'm going to duplicate that, and I want my height to be the same, but I want my width to change to 1 inch. So now I have a front, a side, a back. I need another side. Okay, now I have that. Now I can guesstimate that it's probably right at just over 6. I'm going to say it's going to be 6.125 if I were to weld all of that together. Okay, but I'm not going to, because I want to keep a check on all my sizes. So I'm going to say that this is going to be 6 inches. Okay, come out to 6 inches. I was thinking 6.125, but it's going to be 6 inches by 275. So I'm just going to take one of those, and we're going to change it right here. We're going to unlock and change it to 6 inches wide. Okay, that is my box. That way I don't have to worry about welding and making sure it's all flush down at the bottom and the top. All of it is right there. But this is my guide to tell me where my score lines and things like that are going to go. The next thing I'm going to need, and you can duplicate your square a bunch of times and change it. I just work off of the one that I put in. But I am going to need a tab over here, because when I put my score lines in, we're going to need to glue this side to this side. So you need a tab. And what I generally use, and it's going to depend, sometimes on the thin sides I will use a pentagon, but most of the time I use an hexagon. But in this case I'm probably going to use both, so I'm just going to grab them both while I'm in there. I'm just going to bring this one over to the side. And I'm just going to shrink that down. Doesn't matter at this point. I just need to make sure that it's in there. I'm just going to slice it off. 2 layers. Remember, you can only slice 2 layers at a time. Now, if you guys have questions, put them in caps and ask, and I myself will answer them, or the moderators will help me answer for you. So I can delete all of that stuff. And now I have a tab, but it's going the wrong way. So I need to rotate it 90 degrees. And I like my tabs to be at least a 1/2 inch, so I have something to work with and I don't have a little bitty skinny tab to work with. The only time I'll do these little bitty skinny tabs is if I'm at that 11.5 inch mark and I need to squish it down. So I know that the height of my box is 2.75. I'm going to unlock this. I want it to be a 1/2 inch wide, so I'm going to change that. And then I'm going to change this to 2.75. Okay. Now I can bring that down here, and I'm just going to duplicate. So I have one, so I know. This is going to help me with my score lines and determining where everything goes. So I'm just going to line that up. I'm going to align it, and I'm going to center it vertically. I'm going to have to bump that in. It needs to touch. That might not be in enough. I'm going to align, center it vertically, and we're going to weld. If you've got a line in there after you weld, then you're not good on that. You need to undo it and back it up. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this, and you'll see why here. I'm going to unlock this. Oops, come on down just a little bit. And I'm going to slice that. And I'm going to get rid of the top half of this one. Because now we need a top and a bottom for the box. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate my square. And I know that my front and my back are 2 inches wide. So I'm going to change this to 2 inches in width. Or the width is good. I'm going to change the height to 1 inch. And the reason I'm changing that to 1 inch is because that is the width of my box. I mean the depth of my box. Width on this is width, this is depth, okay? And then, of course, the height is tall. So now I've got that right there. But I really don't care for that being flat. It doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, you can use your pentagon and make that flat that way. Okay? But you want at least one of them flat so that when you finish your box, it has a finished look to it. I like the squares. They don't bother me. I said that backwards, but I prefer the squares over the angle. But when I do my inside flap, it needs to have that angle, okay? Because if not, you're going to have all those little cut lines down through there. So here is my base right here for that one. And I'm going to duplicate it because I need a lid too, okay? Then I'm going to duplicate it again because I need that piece right there for my bottom. This is going to make the bottom down here. This is going to make the top. Now I need to change this to 1 inch in width. Make sure you unlock it because that's how wide this is. Okay, and we need that angle on there. Okay, so I'm going to place that right there, and then it needs to be 1 inch tall. Okay. Well, it doesn't really have to be 1 inch tall because this is a side flap. You can make this 0.75. That way they won't run into each other on the inside of the box. So let's just make it 0.75 in height and lock that down. And then I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to slide this one over. I'm going to bring that one in. Then I'm going to duplicate that again. And we're going to flip that one vertical. And then that's going to be the flap there. And we're going to duplicate it again. And that's going to be the flap there. Is this starting to look like a box to you guys? So now I have all of those pieces. I didn't leave myself enough room. I'm going to shrink this a little bit so that it all fits on screen. I'm going to slide all this down. Now I need a closure for the box. So I'm going to duplicate this little guy, and I am going to take the, so we're going to come over here and we're going to unlock it and make it 2 inches. So now when I bring all of this together, and of course you want to line it up, so what I would do is take these 2 pieces, I'm going to align left or center horizontally, whichever you want to do, and you're going to weld, okay? Oops, and you see that I didn't get it close enough, so I'm going to undo it, and I'm just going to bump that down just slightly. And I'm just going to align them again, center it horizontally, and weld. Now, there I go. Now, when I do a box lid right here, I will insert, when I do my scores, I will come in here and put just a solid line. But I'm talking, this won't be but a 1/4 inch, maybe, in length. And it's going to go right here, then it's going to go to a score, and then it's going to have another one right here. And that is so when I fold that over and tuck it into this box, it stays closed. Okay? So, some boxes you need that, especially your small ones. Sometimes they don't want to stay closed if you don't do that. So you'll want to make sure. And then you're just going to weld all of this together. Then you're going to come in here and you're going to put your score lines, and that's what these represent. Because then after I've welded all this, now I'm not going to take the time. I will make this box and it will be available next Monday. We're going to cut it and put it together. But I have to test it first, okay? So I'm just going to duplicate this, guys, and group it and hide it so that I have something to work off of when I come back to this file. But let's just pretend I've got everything lined up and I've got my everything that I need on there, and I've welded it. Now I have my box. Everything is lined up. Ah, thanks, Sue. So now you're going to need your score lines. So you get your score lines, and of course they're going to come in at 3.11 because that's what they are. But we know that our box is 2.75, so I'm just going to change it to 2.75. And if you're going to cut windows in here, guys, you need your score lines as guides to make sure you're not cutting into your scores. Make sure your tabs are not into the windows. You may need to trim your tab down if it's going to come in, if your window is more than a 1/2 inch, because you need to count that tab if you're doing a window in the box over here. Sometimes it's safer just to do your window in this side. That way your tab doesn't get into the window. I've made that mistake a few times. Thank you, Sue. Boxes can be challenging. This is a super simple box. When you get into some other sizes, some odd shaped things, it can be very tedious. But you're going to need to duplicate that. And you can see here, everywhere you see that space in these is where you need a score line. So the way I do it, I'm going to bring that over. I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to put it on the 0 on my X and 0 on my Y. And it's going to move it to the 0, 0 position. So I know my box is 2 inches wide, and I know that I need to bring that in there, and I'm going to look and make sure that it is on the 2 inch, and it's 1.5 inches down. 1.5. Oops. I missed something. What did I hit? Oh, I hit 1. So there, it's going to position that first one. Then I'm going to duplicate it, and I know that the size is 1 inch, so I'm going to bring that in to the 3 inch, and then the 1.5. So there's that side. Then I'm going to duplicate it again, and I need to add 2 inches to that because the back is 2 inches wide. So if that one is at 3, then this one has to go at 5 and 1.5. Oops, I moved something. Oops, I moved the wrong one, didn't I? That's okay. We'll put him back on the 3 and the 1.5. And then I need one more for that tab. So we're going to duplicate that. And we're going to bring that in 1 inch from this one, which was at the 5 inch. So I need to make this one at the 6 inch. And the 1.5. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate that last one again. And now I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. You're very, very welcome. So we know that we need our score to be at the 1.5 inch line. That's where our box lid is, but we need it to go the whole length. Oops, don't want to move your box at this point. We're going to take this line, and we know that it's 6 inches long. Just out of memory from doing all this, we know, well, it's actually 6.5 inches long now because we added our tab, but we don't need the score to go out here 6.5 inches. We only need it to go 6 inches long. So we're going to select it, and we're going to go to our position at 0 and at 1.5. Then we're going to go to the size and put it at 6 inches long. And then I'm just going to duplicate it. And we're going to bring it down here to the, I believe it's going to be 4.5 inches, 4.75. Is that right? I forgot how tall my box was. 4 inches, something like that, with the top on it there. 4.25. I think that was right. Anyway, you get the gist of it. It's going to go right there along where your flaps are going to fold. And you can tell that by this area right here where your cutouts are. So now I have that. I need this line one more time. I'm going to duplicate it. And this one we're going to rotate 90 degrees. And we know it needs to be 2 inches wide. Actually, it needs to be, it's 2 inches to score across. And I'm just going to leave it at 2 inches scored across and bring it to my 1/2 inch and bring it to my 0 position for the tab. And then I would duplicate it one more time, change that one to a cut line, just so I could get my ticks. I'm going to bring it there so you can see it. And here's my little trick that I do for this, guys. I'm going to change that to draw, and I am going to come in here and I am going to change that to this green, this fluorescent green, so that I can see it when I'm designing. I'm going to make that 0.25, and you can see why I change it to green. I need to be able to see that line, and I'm going to bring that in and place it right on that edge. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to bring it in and place it right on that edge. So now I've got my tick marks there, okay? I am going to select both of those in my layers panel. I'm going to align them top because I want them to cut at the same place. I'm going to attach them. I'm going to set them on the 2 inch mark where they need to be. Oops, yeah, 2 inches wide is where it needs to be, and it also needs to be on that 1/2 inch mark, and it is. So now I'm going to change that back to cut. I'm going to take my box, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to hide it. I'm going to get rid of all of this. I'm going to select all and attach. Then I'm going to go back and unhide that box. I'm going to select everything and attach. And now my box is ready to cut. Now if I want a window in that box, for whatever reason, like I said, it needs to be a 1/2 inch over. Let's just say I was going to do an oval window. I'm just going to select a circle. I'm going to unlock it. And then I'm going to fit that little oval in there. My trick is to get a square. I know my tab is a 1/2 inch. I'm going to change it to a lighter color just so I can see it against the other one. And I'm going to make it 0.5. I need it to be a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to bring it in at the fattest point of my window. So if I were to cut that window right there, look what happens. You're going to see that tab in the window. So I'm going to just shrink my window down just a tiny bit. So now I know it won't be seen, but it'll give me a little bit of a window there. I'm going to change this square to my 2 point, whatever that was. Anybody remember? I already deleted my other stuff. 2 inches wide. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, it does. 2 inches by 275. Is that what I said? That's what it looks like. Just, I was close. That's my position. Here we go. 275. And the reason I'm making that exact is because I'm going to now align those two to the left. We can bring everything back to the 0, 0 mark if you want. I'm just going to make it on the 4 and the 1 just so I can get a good reading. So this is at the 2, 275 and the 4, 425. I'm 2.5. I'm going to arrange. I'm going to send that backwards. I don't want that window there. I'm going to select those two. I'm going to align center. Now I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to detach my lines. I'm going to arrange, send it to the back. I'm going to send my lines to the back. And then I'm just going to select that oval, select my box, slice it, get rid of the trash, send that back to the back, and attach. The box is done. Super easy, super simple. But you have to make sure that your measurements are right. Now, before I would cut this out of pretty paper, guys, I always use like a craft paper because it's inexpensive. I make one as a mock-up. I make sure everything fits, make sure I don't need any adjustments, anything like that. If you need adjustments, it's better to cut them on that paper instead of wasting all your pretty paper. Okay, and I'm going to save this as, this is the hand sanitizer from Bath and Body Works. So if you guys get the little 1 ounce, 29 milliliter hand sanitizers and you want to do those for gifts this holiday season for your neighbors and stuff, you're going to have a box, and we're going to do that next Monday. Okay, I will pretty it up and all of that before I give it to you guys. So does everybody understand how I actually came up with doing that? Oh, thank you, Pat. I don't know if I know everything paper crafting, but I've been doing it for a while, so it takes practice, guys. And you can always refer back to this video if you get stuck and pause it and play along and make your own. And because practice really does help. You think that just practicing and making a box won't do anything, even if you're just dreaming up a size for whatever. It really does help to practice and play with it. So let's go over and put tonight's box together. We're not going to do the card because it's just 2-layer panels on the card. There's nothing really special on that, no interactive or anything. So we're just going to put the box together. And what I mean by working with boxes, here was my mock-up. I did this. I spent all day. This is the second box that I did yesterday. I got this one right on the first try. Believe it or not. This one I got right on the first try. This one, I did this one. If I did it once, I did it 50 times, and it's still not right. So that's why we're not doing this box tonight instead. This is supposed to pop up a gift card. The gift card stands up in here. So not all of my boxes come out the way they were in my brain. Okay? Yes, you can practice with plain copy paper. You can cut this box on copy paper and make sure that everything is going to fit and that your item's going to fit in it. I have used Scotch tape on copy paper many a times, but this is my favorite medium to work with when I'm testing. So because I get the durability, I know how durable it's going to be. I know if I can use a lightweight cardstock, if I need an 80-pound, 60-pound, things like that. So all you're going to do is foil everything, and then we're going to come and put it together. Now, I cut this one a little bit different because I needed a box for Thanksgiving, and I didn't want to be wasting my papers. So I'm making a Thanksgiving one instead of another foiled one. But you can use this for anything, guys, for baby showers, for wedding favors, anything. You could even make these for Halloween, and if everybody's doing the COVID thing and they don't want to get close, go and buy a dowel rod from Hobby Lobby and hang your little treats on there. Stick them out the door. So this little box has many, many, many uses, okay? You can use this for an ornament, and you took the words out of my mouth. But yeah, tons of things. And all you're going to do is fold it on its score lines. Right down the center here. And I meant to show you guys, the reason this card, you can only get one of these out of a 12 by 12 sheet. You can't get two. You can only get one. So that's why I put the card in there, because the card, you can get this cut, and then this will cut on the bottom. So if you're cutting them out of the same color coordinating cardstocks, you can get a card and a box out of one sheet, but you cannot get two boxes out of one sheet. Okay, just so you guys know. Then you're going to fold all of your bottom tabs. And one of these tabs is shorter than the other. No, it's not. I was going to do it that way, and then I didn't find the need for it, so I made them the same. I did that on this one. Made one shorter. And then I changed it. So you've got all the bottom ones folded. Then you're going to fold in your two triangular tops. This is called a Gable Box, guys. This is just another type of gable. Then you have a score line right here. This score line gets a valley fold, or folded towards you. And then the second one right below your little round places, you'll see it, gets folded the opposite direction. Now, I did that backwards. It gets folded towards you too. It doesn't matter. You can fold it both ways just to give yourself some play. It won't push against each other, and your hooks will stay closer together if you fold it both ways. There we go. And then you're just going to glue right here on this tab. Why do I always have a glue issue? Don't answer that, Sue. There we go. That's a little bit more than I wanted. And I just fold it over like this, guys, and bring this tab in. That way I know it's square. And then you're just going to, where's my seam? There's my seam right here at the back. So I am going to fold this tab in first when I do the sides. Now you can glue these two if you want. I just put a little touch on each end. You don't need much. Fold that one in, and then this one. That way all of my closures are to the back. I'm just going to take my bone folder in there and mash down those two tabs that I put a little glue on. Bring it together. Just going to fold that down. That's where it stays stiff. Remember when I folded them, I folded that way? That's the way you want. I didn't double fold this one because I want the give here, and you want this to stay a little bit stiff. That's what keeps the handles together, because you don't glue those. You see how these are staying together? If you fold it both ways, then they'll try to separate like this, and you don't want them separate like that when you give it away. So then you're just going to bring those down tight and slip those right over. Okay? See how those are separating? They'll go back together once it gets relaxed from playing with it. And then I'm going to pop dot this up. I'm just going to use maybe two, yeah, two should be enough of these big ones. 3 small ones, 2 big ones. I'll make sure I get it. All right, and then just a ribbon, if I can find my ribbon. I had my ribbon right here. I swear that I did. I just want a bow. There it is. I knew I brought it in here. I'm just going to do just a tiny little ribbon. You don't need a big one. I just do the rabbit ear bow. This is Stampin' Up! Ribbon, if you guys were wondering. And then I'm just going to use a glue dot. These are big glue dots, but that's what I had on my desk. I'm just going to kind of roll it into a little ball. How stinking cute is that? I love this little box. So super simple, super easy. Tons and tons of uses. Now, I have a lot of things that I'm going to be doing, guys. Let me just take you guys to the calendar. Here's the calendar, and I am going to take a couple of days after I get all these files done. So I won't be live on the rest of this week, but I am going to be releasing a file on Wednesday for you guys before I go. And then I am moving... I am moving the live to Tuesday next week because of the Canadian Thanksgiving. And I already said Happy Thanksgiving to you guys tonight because I won't be here next week. Earlier in the video I said that. So Happy Thanksgiving to all our Canadian watchers. I have moved the live to Tuesday for that reason. And then on Wednesdays, instead of doing a live while I try to get all of these files in order and when the holidays are coming around, I am going to be releasing files, but I'm only going to be going live on Mondays this month so that we can get everything together. But I may do some pop-in lives, like it might be a Thursday, it might be a Wednesday, but I just didn't schedule any in the month, but I may pop some in there. Okay, so you guys make sure you got your notifications on. And yeah, there's a notification now. And then on the 26th, I have moved that live to Tuesday as well because it's my birthday. And I'll probably be going out to dinner with family. So make sure that if you want the files that that I'm going to be releasing, that you are monthly on Ko-fi or you are monthly on Patreon. And you can do annual on Patreon. And for all of the guys that have already gone annual and those in the future, I'm going to be doing something special for you guys. I don't know what yet. I've got some things planned in the works, and I'll be working on those here in the next month and come up with something for you guys because I greatly appreciate you. And I will be setting up, watch for the giveaway. I will probably start the giveaway on Wednesday as well. Okay? So look for that. And if you're on Patreon, you'll get an email of it. If you're on Ko-fi, it'll be in the post. So you'll see that. If you're a YouTube supporter only, you will need to come to the group to see that. I think I've covered just about everything. Oh, files. Guys, if you are watching any of my old videos where I gave a file away and the link does not work, if it is an old link that does not have the word landing in it, chances are that file is only available now to supporters. Because I got over 500 videos, guys, and when I first started, there were a ton of free files. There is no way possible I can go and fix all of those and fix everything for my supporters too. So I made the executive decision. Any old free files are no longer out there for free. If you didn't get them then, you would have to be a supporter to get them. If you click on a link and it has the word landing in it, where I have given away a file here recently, I think last week, and it won't open, if you're on a mobile device, that is probably the issue. You need to open YouTube in your browser, copy and paste that link to get it to open, and it will open that way. But if you are going through the YouTube app and clicking those links, they are not going to open. Okay? Nothing I can do about that. So, just so you guys know, any old files back in the day are gone. I am not going to go and fix those. They are on the site for all of my supporters. You guys don't have to worry. You will have them. You just won't have the convenience of clicking on them in the videos. Okay? And this is going to be Wednesday's file. I did some red foiling on this, and I don't have my red Cricut foil. It's on HSN tonight, is it, guys? Somebody refresh my memory. I think the red foil. I did use my foil quill on this. But I've set the foiling for Cricut on fine, and that's what I used here. And it's very pretty with its foils. This is flocked vellum, comes from Stampin' Up. Amanda Nehemiah is my Stampin' Up demonstrator. She is a Patreon. If you guys need her link and you want to order that paper, let me know. And I will get you a link for Amanda's site to get this. And if you have your own demonstrator, you can do that as well. Oops. Did it again. There we go. You didn't miss anything. This right here is the flocked, and then this is the foil. I used my foil quill for this because I don't have my red Cricut foil yet, but I had to get the card done. And I'm pretty sure that the Cricut foil is going to be gorgeous for this. Just use your fine tip. And again, this is Stampin' Up flocked vellum. It changed, babe. You still can't see? Because it's showing me it changed this time. Okay. That's all I showed, was that right there. So this will be coming out Wednesday. And guys, it's nothing but layering. Okay? This is just a white base with a piece of red on top and a piece of this over the red and then the decor on the top. That's it. I know it looks complicated, but it's just 2 panels laid up on top. The difference if you pay annually, Dolores, is you save 10%. And I am making myself a note right now to go and fix that transition on. Sorry, I have to write this stuff down or I'll forget it on OBS because it doesn't want to transition unless I click it 4 times. I'm supposed to just double click. All right, guys. Any questions? Anybody have anything they need me to show? Any design space questions? Are you stuck on anything? Yes. Thank you, Louise. You were supposed to remind me, and she did. Guys, when you open up these packs, I don't know. I'm not going to open this because this is a giveaway. When you open up your packs of foil, especially the one that comes in your foil quill, there is a piece of tape on those. Let's see. I have something. And that tape looks like this. And this is what I do when I open up a new pack of paper of any kind. And you especially want to do it with the foils. Is you want to get this little guy right here, if I can get it started. Usually they roll right off, but because I'm on the video, it's not. You want to get that off of there. Or you want to fold down your flap before you pull that paper or that foil out, because if you don't, it's going to stick to your foil and it's going to ruin your foil, okay? Make sure that when you open these up that you do not let that sticky plastic coating on your little package mess that up. Now with the With the 12 by 12s, you don't have that issue. With the 12 by 12s, this is the one I used to do our box with. I used a sheet. It just comes in here in your pack like this, loose. I don't want to bend any, so I'm trying to get it back in the box like it goes. So this one, and it still slid down, didn't it? There we go. These come with your tapes on one side, like so. And guys, you can reuse that tape. And these are just in here like this. And then you have 2 little tapes here. I cut mine instead of peeling them so that you don't have any sticky that has a chance to stick to your foil. So be very careful in packaging all of your foil. Yeah, is it out, Jamie, the HSN? I thought I saw it. I don't remember where I saw it. I just got a quick glimpse. But this one is on Cricut.com now. But the pack with the red in it is on an HSN bundle. But you get a pack on the inside of this with silver and gold in it. But it's in a little cellophane baggie, and you don't want that sticky to stick to it. So be extremely careful. Thank you for reminding me of that, Louise. Can you use other foil other than the Cricut? Some of the other foils, but they do rub off. If you go back last week, Anita, we did a bunch of testing and I went over them. Okay. Okay, it is up then, Jamie. Thank you. I don't have a HSN link, guys. I'm not an affiliate with HSN, so I can't give you a link to that, but you can go on HSN and find it. I'm just going to wait, and hopefully it'll come up on Cricut. So, all right, guys. Please make your little boxes and post them in the group. I want to see what you guys do because this thing is so versatile. You can do so many different things with it. Like I said, baby showers, weddings, birthdays, Halloween, you name it. Ornaments. So tons of things you can do. Yay! Thank you, Dolores. I'll get you your password out very, very shortly if you don't have it. I think you're already a patron. You should already have it. You're just getting the savings now. Any new features in Design Space? Anita, the only thing that they added was the foil tool. When you put in any of the drawing art or line for draw, or I'm sorry, a line, anything that you can draw, down here you'll see the foil, and then you're going to choose fine, medium, or bold, depending on how you want it to be, and then you're going to select your color. Right now the gold, silver, the purple, aqua, and emerald are on, the purple, aqua, and emerald are in the jewel tone on Cricut. They are in the I think they're 4x6 sheets, correct me if I'm wrong. The gold and silver come in the kit itself in 4x6, but it's also available. Sue, anybody know what colors are in the HSN one? I know it's red and silver, I think. That's what they said last week. I don't remember what else is in there. But the fuchsia is also in that jewel tone pack, isn't it? No, just the purple, the teal, and the green. So it must be the fuchsia that's in one of them. Or it's coming, one of the two. And the rose gold, I don't know if the rose gold is in any of them yet either. So I'm going to say rose gold, fuchsia, and red might be in another pack coming. Who knows? I'm just guessing. The rose gold, red, rose gold, and pink. That's it. I knew those three were not in anything, so they had to be in something. Hopefully we'll get them in 12x12 sheets too. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Again, thank you to all my supporters. I greatly appreciate you guys, especially during these rough times that we're all having. You guys are a blessing. Thank you to my moderators. You guys are awesome. Top notch. Cream of the crop. I will catch you guys on Tuesday next week. And files will be coming out randomly. Again, they will be posted on Ko-fi, and they will be emailed if you're on Patreon. And they will be posted up in the group as released as well. So lots of files coming out. The coffee cup caddy that I mentioned last week, I'm still working on that video, guys, but it's coming. Hopefully I will get that out Friday. So it's coming. I've got the video is just a little long and I have to edit it down. So just bear with me on that, but it is coming. You guys have a wonderful week. Catch you on Tuesday. Thank you for joining me.